Simon, welcome in. It's your Bambino Chino. I'm here today. We're gonna do first ever movie review. Yesterday, I went to the movies on Popcorn Day, and we got ourselves a big old bucket of popcorn. Which actually, let me go get that. Yesterday I went to the movies. This is the rest of my popcorn I have left. This is a little liner that lets you put in your bucket. And it's the popcorn. I've been snacking on it, so the popcorn in my bed. Because I like to eat myself. So, this movie, there's not a whole lot of movies that was out that I wanted to see. So, in order to see this movie, I had to see the one before it. So, the movie was Greenland 2 is the one I saw yesterday, but so that day I also had to watch the first one. So, to give you like a recap of what happens from Greenland to Greenland 2 is that there's a comet coming, and they don't think it's gonna do anything. They don't even think it's gonna hit Earth. So people are having watch parties and everything, and so it's Gerard Butler and Morena Baccarin, our husband and wife and their kid, and he is a structural engineer. So of course he's picked to be in this bunker if anything happens, which if they have this bunker already made, then I guess they prepared for something like this to happen. But so whatever, they're having the party for this event, and he gets a call, and they're saying that it's not a drill, and that him and his family have been chosen to go into this bunker. And so to kind of get you emotionally there, because the other families that are there, and they hear about it, and they're like, take us, take my kid, and he's like, I can't. So that's the beginning of the right. So they find out that this comet is gonna hit Earth, and his family's chosen to be in this bunker. So what happens is it breaks up in Earth's atmosphere and ends up hitting like the whole Earth. So I guess from the second one, you find out that it hits, the main one hits in France, which is the crater. But so they're trying to get to the plane that is taking them to. They have to go to a military base that ends up taking them to this place. And I don't think they say it towards the end of the movie, but they don't tell you at first. Like, I know it's called Greenland, but they don't say that they're going to Greenland at first. So on the way there, there's that, the emotional, other people. It's like a zombie movie. People are fighting to get there. The roads are backed up. And they actually get there, and there's thousands of people standing out there trying to get in. And they get wristbands, so the military can scan them so they know that they're part of the people. And then their kid leaves their insulin in the car. And that was the first time I realized that's what it was, because he had this little thing. I just thought it was a tape player, really. I guess it wouldn't have been one. But yeah, so the dad goes back to Gerard Butler. He goes back to get the insulin from the car, and Morena Bacher and the wife says something to one of the military people, and they're like, wait, what? They take them into another room, and then they're like, hey, we can't take it anybody that's got like a condition like that. But pretty much, I don't know, you probably can't make that, and they're probably not gonna be able to find those specific drugs anyway. So they basically are get red listed or blacklisted, whatever it is. They're basically told that they can't get on the plane. So, but they're separated. So Gerard Butler doesn't know this. So when he gets back, he can't find them. And he's like main character syndrome. He's like, we're calling for her and everything, and he gets on a plane. He's like, is anybody? Is my wife? And then one guy sees that he has this insulin with him, and he's like, how'd you get that? Like, my kid got kicked out of it because of can't have illnesses. So he tries to get off the plane, Gerard Butler, because he realizes his family's not on any of the planes. There's multiple planes at this air base. So he gets off, and then the thousands of people that were outside waiting end up bum rushing the base. It looked like a zombie movie, and so military people start shooting a couple of the people, because a couple of the people had weapons on them. So if they see somebody with a gun, they were shooting them, and Gerard Butler sees that the guys that were taking care of the plane had dropped the hose for the gas. Like, everybody get off, get off, get off. Ends up, they shoot near the gas thing and it blows up. So it pretty much is a big thriller of them getting to the place. Which there's a kid gets kidnapped at one point, and Gerard Butler has to kill somebody because people realize that they have the bracelets, so they know that if you have one of these bracelets that you're gonna get on the plane. So they want to do that. So they try to get these bracelets, and obviously they get to the plane. So let's get to the second one. And this is spoilers for everything. So the second movie takes place 5 years after. And the comet, his name is Clark. So I got my notes here. So after this comet, the whole Earth is like gets hit with earthquakes, volcanoes, electric and radioactive storms. So we open. It's like them kind of living in this bunker, and it's Gerard Butler. Pretty much, he goes out. I don't know if he goes out every day, but he goes out and he's like scouting the area, scavenging, and like getting information about the storms and whatever comes, and then they have like a whole military council. They learn that there's like another group of people. They say it's 50 people. So they voted to go pick up these people. And as they're coming back, they're like, "Oh, we're gonna have to make it go back again because they left like a whole bunch of people behind." And they're like, "What do you mean? Said 50 people, we got 50 people." So on their way there, which this is one of the parts that I don't really get, but as they're coming back, you think it's gonna go into these when people come and they start trying to take over or take over the bunker or try to mess up their ecosystem that they got going on. But no, as they come back, they see Gerard Butler and his understudy start noticing like cracks in the wall, and within minutes, it was just crazy. And within minutes, the whole thing just collapses. Well, not collapses at first, but it starts breaking. But then within, like a minute or so, the whole thing ends up like collapsing in on itself and crashing, which is crazy because, for one, you got this structural engineer. 5 years, you're looking for all this stuff, and you couldn't like reinforce anything, and this bunker only lasts for 5 years. But I mean, they've had all these bad earthquakes, which you would think that being a structural engineer, he would try to reinforce it for these earthquakes because, yeah, it could stand some of it, but after time, plus after people living in it, like, it crashes down within a couple of minutes, and everybody just dissolves into chaos and is crawling over each other trying to get out of there. And so they end up going a back way and going out a different door and getting out, and they get out, and that day just so happened that a big ship washed ashore, and it was like 4 or 5 little submarine type ships ended up rushing on. So everybody's fighting each other for first the air, the mask. There's like, what's it called? They don't know if the air is good because of all the radiation and stuff. So they all got gas masks, and then they're all fighting over getting on these little ships. So all getting on these ships. As soon as they start leaving, they get a couple miles out into sea, and a tsunami comes. And this is part of the movie that's kind of cool because just as when you think it's getting boring, something crazy happens and they all gotta fight for their lives. So comes out, they get in a boat and they're driving, and then all of a sudden a tsunami comes. So pretty much kills all those people that just got out of that bunker. So they're sitting there discussing like where to go. They're talking about when they're in the bunker, like what other places are safe, what other places are near them. And they talk about going to the UK, Liverpool. So at one point the engine like malfunctioned, so Gerard Butler had to fix it. And then the second time you see something happen, and that was actually when they ran out of gas, so they had to like float the rest of the way to the UK. So they get there, and at first you see it, and it's like flooded, and they get stuck on something, and I don't know what it was supposed to be. Like they made it like an aerial shot, and I don't know if it was like supposed to be some monument that you're supposed to know where they were, but they get stuck. Of course, there's oars inside the boat, which they don't use until this point, and so they push themselves off, and they get in more into Liverpool. They get there, they dock the boat just on a street, and they start walking, and they hear people outside, and they go, and there's people like in the center of town or whatever, but there's people that are just living outside, and when they keep showing the people walk past, you can see on their faces like there's like burn scars like on them, not just like fire burn, but like they look electrical, like they had like lines you can see. So it looked like they've been sitting out in the elements. And right away, as soon as they get on shore, they're like, stay together. Boom, they all like separate, so it's only like 5 people. Which, I guess it helps, because they had like a bigger group of people, but it's like, where did all those people go? They just all separated right away? Whatever. So they get there, not too far in, there was like a military, I don't know if it was a checkpoint or it was actually a military place. So they go up there, military's like, nobody gets in without credentials. So only the Marina Baccarin's got her credentials, everybody else forgot theirs or can't find it. And people are starting to riot, and then all of a sudden the one guy gets shot, and it's one of the bunker people. So then everybody disperses, and then there's a storm coming, and it's like a radioactive storm. You can see it's like flashing and everything. So they all go. this is what they do the whole movie. They just plead with somebody to give them a ride or help them out, and of course they do. So they get this guy, they trade like a watch and maybe some other jewelry, and he gives them a ride, and they're riding, and then they take a stop to go to the bathroom and get out for a little bit, and then like a meteor shower comes, and I don't even know if this would actually work, but the meteor shower starts raining down, and they all grab onto a tree, and the guy who had like the van, he's like, oh, that's my baby, and he goes and runs to the van. Of course, one of the meteors hit him, kill him, and so I don't remember how they, because I remember they grab all their stuff, but somehow they get to Marina Baccarin's character. She has a friend that they're trying to get to in London. She must have been some type of doctor or something. I don't remember them saying what she did. But so they get to her place, which from the outside looks like a house. They just had like a couple extra like metal shelving things on the outside to keep it safe. But when you open it up, it looked like a bunker. And she was taking care of some elderly people that didn't know what was going on. So she was taking care of them. She had like a little power source, and everybody always has like an air purifier to purify the air. So they keep talking about rumors of like a sanctuary place or somewhere in France. They're trying to get to the Gulf Lion, the Mediterranean Sea. So they're talking, it's just rumors, they don't know. They're like, we gotta go do it, we gotta try it anyway. A lady gives them a gun in her car, and they start heading out that way. And just when you think it's gonna get boring, Marauders see that there's a car, so they, all of a sudden, like, they're driving, and then it's 4 of them, or it's 5 of them. It's Gerard Butler, Marina Baccarin, their kid, that was 4, and then another lady, and all of a sudden, the lady's, she's sitting on one side, the passenger behind the passenger, and all of a sudden, her window busts open. They somehow just shot her. So they stop the car, and they have a little shootout because the lady gave Gerard Butler a gun and the car. So of course they had to have a little shootout. So then they keep going. So now it's just them, the family again. So they get to the English Channel, which looked like a big canyon. So all of a sudden they came up to a part, and it was like a bunch of cars sitting there. And when they got up to it, they saw people were getting out of their cars and going over. They had to get over this canyon. And then, so here's the other big like intense part. So the whole thing is like bridges. So at first, the first part of it was like this big rope bridge, and so they had to climb down, and each one by one, and of course they're walking, and the whole thing's moving everywhere. So they get to that part, and then there's a second part of it where it's just ladders with no railings or anything. It's just big old ladders that they had to go. And crawling across, and of course they're out in the open. Wind blowing them everywhere. One of the kid almost falls, and there's 2 ladders, one for each direction. Like people are going this way, and then other people are coming back. So the people that are coming this way, all of a sudden, the wind's blowing, and it starts blowing their ladder, and pieces of this canyon thing are breaking off. So all of a sudden, the ladder's almost gonna fall. So of course the people jump to the other side and almost kill the family, but they survived. So they do that, and they end up in France. Don't ask me if that's geography. Not geography, but geographic. Geographically correct. So as soon as I get across, and somebody holds them up, of course, the person that holds them up ends up being a good guy, without really. Gerard Butler never uses his "I'm a structural engineer" to persuade these people to help them. That's always just, please, I have a family. It's just weird. I would be smart. I'm a structural engineer. I can do these actual things. That's why I just picked to be in this bunker anyway. To help keep humanity going again once all this is over with. But no, he just talks to this guy, and guy ends up being like, "Oh, you're cool, man. You can come to my house and stay." Shut it. But so he goes. They stay at their house. There's this guy, his wife, who's dying. Their daughter, which she's like the age of their son, which also is something that bothers me too, because in this movie he's 15, but in the first movie he's 7. Because the whole time they're like, "Oh, please, my son, he's 7, he's 7, he's 7, 7, and in the bunker for 5 years. 12. I don't know how he got 3 more years on there, but well, I guess I forgot this part in the beginning. But in the beginning, to get there, it was 9 months. Still, it was 9 months. They opened the bunker, saw that things still weren't good, and there was too much radiation. So that's when they went back into the bunker for 5 years. But so she's 15 too, just a girl her son's age. Dad was they're talking about going to this crater, and they kept saying that it's not going to be easy to go there because the military's fighting to keep it, and they're fighting people to stay out of it. There are other people, I don't know if they're trying to take it over or what, but I don't know, there's just some big war going on in between that. So he gave him a picture and told him that they had promised to take the daughter with, and to ask for some military person, and he would help them get to this crater. So going, and they end up taking a pit stop and sitting there having a little picnic. And all of a sudden this caravan comes up and stops and starts questioning them. and the girl comes up because she's the only one that speaks French, and the rest of the people in the Caribbean does. And then, so they take him back to the military place, and it takes him to another military base. The military base, they start talking, or asking for this guy. They give him the picture. They're like, well, he died, so there's nothing. What do you want us to do? And again, instead of saying that he's a structural engineer, he's just like, please, my family, kids. And the guy's like, alright. So he tells him, get on the bus. Oh no, that happens after. Before that, the convoy people take him. Oh, they had to travel to this military place. So they're going through all this trench thing. People are dying left and right, and waiting for the convoy guy to get killed. But he ends up surviving. Gets him to the end of. You don't even know who this is because it's in the middle of the night. It's pitch black. So they get to the end of the line of this trench. The commander of the trench stuff, he goes back. These guys go to where they put this base, and it's not like an actual military base. It's like they're in the middle of a war, so it's just a makeshift base. That's when they talk to the people in charge, and they give them a picture and tell them they're trying to get to the crater, and they're like, well, no, we don't have room. The guy's like, no, I have kids and family and young. So they take them. It's getting boring, right? Wrong. All of a sudden, marauders, as soon as they're traveling through in a van to go to this crater, marauders. And these guys they don't have, Bird Butler and them, they don't have guns right away. At this point anymore. So all these people are forcing them off the bus. They're going to take the bus instead of going to the crater, which makes kind of no sense. But so they're about to take them all off the bus. Gerard Butler's the last one on the bus. Of course, he starts fighting the guy with the gun. You hear a couple gunshots, and he comes walking out. And they're like, "Ah, you're alive." They move his hand. His hand's bleeding. He got shot too. But they're almost there, so they just get back on the bus and they drive the rest of the way. And this is the end. They get there and they see like the only place in this whole movie that's, because everywhere you look, everything's like, it's like this Fallout show. It's post-apocalyptic, it's comets and meteors have fallen, destroyed the earth, world, destroyed humanity. There's radiation shower or storms and everything going on. So everything's like messed up, but this little patch, there's this little, in the distance, there's this little bit of greenery that looks like they're farming and everything, but it doesn't look like there's a lot of buildings. So overlooking it, they're like, yes, we made it. And that's when he dies from his gunshot wound. And then it's pretty much over. So hopefully there's a third one and they talk about what happens when you get there. If that's even a sanctuary, they don't really explain if it is. But overall, I liked it. There's a lot of cinematic parts where, like, when the convoy comes, a lot of like Discovery Channel type shots where it's overhead. You see it come in. See a lot of the scenery because you're in Greenland. First, it's in Greenland, then they're in London, then they go to France. So there's a lot of shots, overhead moving shots of the scenery, and mostly them driving. It looks really good. The first one was a little bit more thrilling because it wasn't as like cinematic, like the views and everything, as they're just in the U.S. But they're like the kid gets kidnapped in the first one because there's more like at stake. It seems like when they're trying to get there. This one, it doesn't seem like as much as in stake. Like, even though there's parts where, like, they're crossing the bridge and you're like, oh no, are they gonna make it? But there's not. It really didn't feel that, like, intense. Overall, it was good. I'm gonna put some pictures I found on the internet of it. Overall, I'd say go see it. Especially when you get $5 popcorn. And see, let's rank it. I'd say out of 10, I'd give the first one. It was a 7. I was actually genuinely invested in the first one. The second one, I guess it would drop down. I'd probably give it a 5. Because it wasn't, even though it looked good, it wasn't as thrilling. It wasn't, like I said, I thought the new people were gonna come and they were gonna like mess up their little ecosystem and stuff. Even though the movie's called Migration, they called the people that were coming, the new people, migrants. So I was like, oh, well maybe migration, they're play on words or something, but yeah, it wasn't as thrilling. It wasn't, they had the intense parts, but each time they got hit by marauders, again, marauders again. Of course, he's got a gun. I guess he's gonna run into marauders if he's got a gun. But yeah, so the second one, I give a 5. I would be interested to see if there's a third one, to see what this crater actually looks like, because you only really got to see like a far away shot of it. But yeah, this is my first movie review. Sitting here with Krogi. CO6 Grover, and I'm Chino. Howard?